So we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing that you'll want to do is make sure that you have an empty page. And you can do that by opening your sidebar and scrolling all the way down to the bottom where this add a page section. That will be the first thing you'll want to do. So you should be on a page that looks like this. And today we are going to be building a super simple dashboard or that you can follow along and build with yourself. But I will also be uploading the dashboard that we make today if you want to like play around with it instead of building it yourself. So feel free to either follow along as we build it or just watch, and you can check out the dashboard at the end. First thing you're going to want to do that I always do is make this into a full width page. I just think it's way better to start with a full width. It just looks nicer. So that's always my suggestion. I also would change your font. I agree. Yes, full width is best. I love mono font. I just think it looks fun. Notion comes with 3 fonts: mono, serif, and default. I really think the mono is just like fun. It's like a typewriter font. And right here where the title is, I usually like to put maybe like my name, or you can put like welcome or whatever you want to say at the top of your dashboard. Okay, so I usually would put like my name. I'm going to also click this empty page button here because that means it's going to start us off with an empty page. The other thing I like to do is add a call out below this that I write affirmations in. And I do this on every single template. So in order to add something, you're going to hit the / button, and then you can type here to search for something, or you can use your scroller. So I'm just going to type here call out. Go ahead and select that. What this is going to do is put a little box with an emoji, which I just think is fun. So I'm going to do the bamboo. I'm maybe going to go with a green theme for this dashboard. And I'm also going to click the 3 dots right here and change the color of this to be green. You can choose whatever you want, but I just thought that looks kind of fun. So for today's affirmations, I'm going to do something along the lines of Notion. I'm going to go to the next line. You can either do this by hitting the return button or by just clicking down here. And the first thing I'm going to do is type that / again, and I'm going to type table. And I'm not going to select this table because this is just a basic non-database simple table. I'm actually going to go to this table view. And what this is going to have us do is create a database for our task manager. So I'm actually going to go new database here, and this will be the title of the database. I'm just going to put demo task manager. So what I always do, what I was going to say is I usually like to hide this database title, which you can do by clicking here and going hide database title. However, my suggestion is if you're working with a lot of databases and you're moving things around, keep them there until you're done, just so you remember what things are called. If you do hide it and you're like, oh no, I don't remember what it's called, you can come up to the 3 dots on the right side and you can go to, let me see, layout, show database title. There we go. And it's right there. Usually the first view that we're going to want to do is going to just be like an all task view. So if you right click on this table and hit rename, I'm going to go over here to the right side and I'm just going to put all task. Now, I also like to change these icons. It is not a requirement. You do not have to change the icons. It is up to you. But if you type in check, you will get a lot of cute little task icon things. I like to use this one for my all tasks because it shows like a little list. So from there, we have our properties here. These are both properties of the database. So the best way to explain this is that each database entry is going to be a page. And so technically this is an entry. I'm going to open it. It's untitled. So right now, the only properties that we have is the task name, which you can see right here says name, and tags. Now, I like to edit my properties from a page, but you can also edit them from here. What I'm going to do is click the 3 dots on tags and delete it. You don't usually need it. It's not super important. I always get rid of the tag. I am going to add a property though. I'm going to do a select property or a multi-select, depends on kind of what you need. You can always change it later really easily and it doesn't affect things. So I'm going to do a multi-select here, and I'm going to change the name to category. And this is going to be what category of task the task is. So I'll explain in a second. It's a little easier to see. I am going to change the icon again. And if I type in category, it does have some good things. I usually like to do this little rectangle stack. I don't know why. I just like it. So we've got our category task. What we want to do now is add some options that we can select for this. And I think this will make more sense as soon as we get into it. So the first category I'm going to add is work. So I can select if a task is a work task. The other thing I'm going to add is home, in case I need to do something around the house. I also really like to include errand, so that I can mark something down if it's like an errand I need to do. I also think it's a good idea to include hobbies. You can put anything in here that you might have a task related for. So kids, school might be a good one. If you have school tasks, you could even go as far to say, like, I want to mark it as homework. Pretty much anything you could think of that you would want in here. Maybe fitness, health, whatever you want. You can put as many categories as you'd like. So now that we have those, if you come over here, and I'm just going to change this. When you go to the category, you can choose what category of task this is. And this is important for later, because we're going to use some filters based on these. So let's say, for instance, this is a work task. I've just created the category property. I also like to go in here. If you right click on this, you can edit the property of this. And I just like to write task. I also, again, am going to change the icon. And if I do check, I usually like to do like this one for the task. Or maybe, and now we are going to go ahead and do another property that I like to do as date. You are more than welcome to do whatever format you like. I like to just do full date. Sorry, I don't do full date. I'm lying. I like to do relative. Relative means it's going to say, like, if I put a, let's choose here, it's going to say next Tuesday instead of having the actual date, which is something that I really enjoy. I think it just like works a lot better for my brain. You can edit the property if you need to by clicking on it and going edit property. And again, I did the relative. Time format, I usually do 24-hour, but you can keep that however you would like. Now you can see that if we assign ourselves a new task, say this is a school task and it is something that is due next Friday. So now you can stop here. We're not actually done. You do need one more property. If you go ahead and click this plus button, you're going to look for checkbox or type it if you want to. And I'm going to mark this. You can either do done, completed, whatever you want. I'm going to mark it as done. And then simple trick with this one, I do like to drag it to the before the name. And then if you take this and these little blue bars pop, you can shrink it so that now when you're done, you can just mark it as done like that. You don't actually have to see the word done. And you can actually shrink all of these as you see fit if you need to. Now we are done. That is a basic task manager. We'll add sample task 3 and we'll put this one. It's way up there and it's fitness. A lot of times people will say, well, what just happens when you have this task, you mark it as done? Like, it's not going anywhere, right? Where's it going? It's going nowhere. Well, I don't like that. What do I do with these when they're done? Like, I want to have somewhere for them to go. What we are going to do is right click our all tasks view and duplicate it. And we are going to change the name to completed task. Now we're going to have at first an identical version. I'm going to also change the icon. What we do now, we have two of the exact same thing. We're going to add a filter to both of them so that when we complete a task, it moves from our all tasks section to our completed task. And you can also, if you don't want these to be together, you can do a new table view and have them separate, but I think it's nice to have some tabs across the top. We're going to go over here to this filter button. Go ahead, filter, and I'm going to filter by the done property. And we're going to choose for our all tasks section that the done is unchecked. So now the only things that are going to show up in this is if this box is not checked. And you're like, oh no, where did it go? 1 second. Over here on completed tasks, we're going to add another filter. And for this same thing, done category, we're going to do that it is checked. Now, the only things that show up in the completed tasks section are things that are checked. That will be our completed task manager. If you do a lot of projects, there is one more property that you can choose to add, and it is going to be the status property. A status is going to tell you if something is not started, in process, or done. This is kind of nice. I will also sometimes like to add to the in progress section needs feedback, just in case something is waiting on feedback, or like needs review. So that way you might be like, okay, I need to write final paper. It is I'm gonna do it on the 6th. It's for school, and I'm in progress. I've started it. Maybe you want to add this so that it's like if you're doing a lot of writing, you can do like draft, and you can add as many of these as you need. You can add all kinds of stuff in here, especially to this middle section, and you can change the status, but a lot of times like status works pretty good, and I do like this icon. I think it works well. That's your task manager. The other thing that you can do if you like is sort, and you can sort these by the date if you want them to show like when you completed them. That's our task manager. Now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to have us create another database that you can call your information hub. I love using these databases because they just make so much sense to me for doing this. So we're gonna go ahead on a new line, type / and type the word gallery, and we are going to create a gallery database view. Again, we are going to name it like we did the task manager, and I'm going to call this one demo information hub. I'm also going to rename the gallery view right here so that it says information hub, and we're going to change the icon because I love this little information eye. It's just so cute. The information hub. What we are going to do here is open up this page, because right now we can't really see the properties. It's easy to edit a database with the table view because you could just hit the plus sign, right? If you hit the plus sign here, it's going to make a whole new page, and it's easier to edit the databases on the page. So again, I'm going to delete the tags. I always delete the tags. I don't know who uses tags. I don't. And the first property I'm going to add here is property, because you might need to select more than one. Select property only lets you choose one thing. A multi-select will let you choose as many options as you want. And I am going to label this as category. There we go. And we will have info, hub, brain dump. This is important for later. Mobile page, home page. You're like, what are you doing? Just wait. You'll find out. It's important. That's all I'm going to do for this. What I'm going to do here, though, is because these pages are visible, I do like to add an icon. So we're going to do that. This one will be our brain dump. We are going to do a link saver, and let's put like a little link. And then for the second one, I sometimes like to do just like a picture in these, and you'll see why. So let's see if I type / and go image. I'm going to put that there. Category is going to be homepage, and we will put and now we have a pretty little thing. I'm also going to go up here to these 3 dots, change the under layout. There's some options for the gallery here. I like to do the card size as large. You might want to change to something else. And then I always make sure the card preview is on page content. So I'm going to add one more thing here, and it's going to be a grocery list. Category info hub. And to do the grocery list, I'm just going to type / and start typing to do, and that's going to just make a really simple grocery list. So my grocery list is not a database. It's just like a really, really simple list. And the reason is I pull this up on my phone, and I can just click off, and then I come on my computer and I can just delete and put the new list. Grocery list. And then one more, maybe I always have a Target because I don't go to Target that often. So the Target list, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to type / to do, and I'm going to put shampoo, Pokemon cards, plushies. So that can just live there as well. For the link saver, I literally would just do / toggle, and I would put like toggle list means that I can put Notion link, or I can have like logins for insurance, or maybe you have link to favorite, or maybe logins for online school. So when these toggle, you can have a little like put a link. You can put a bunch of links here essentially and hide things. So there we go. That's our little link saver. So now we have an information hub, which is just a fantastic way to kind of store other information. And the brain dump is where I will put all kinds of things. This is really just like if you look at my personal brain dump, it's messy. It scrolls. It is just like a place to literally dump anything and everything. What do you need to remember? What do you want to have handy? Because I'm going to teach you how to make a mobile page, and we're going to link these things on your mobile page so that you can easily access them. And when you're at the store, you can be like, shoot, I need my grocery list. Oh, let me just pull it up on my phone. Here it is. It's right. That's that. Now we have a task manager, an information hub, and the last thing that we are going to make is habit tracker. But before that, there is one thing I do want to add on to the task manager that I find really helpful that I can't believe I forgot. So jumping back just a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and do the plus sign here on this task manager to create a new view. And I'm actually going to do a calendar view. And I'm going to name this weekly calendar. In the settings here, I'm also going to do show calendar as week. This I don't think works on iPad or phone yet. So, I mean, it works on phone, but it's terrible. So I would just view your list on your phone. We'll show you how to do that though. Set up your phone page. We are going to go ahead and hit done. And now you'll see that if we put a task on today, let's do like, if I go to my weekly calendar, you'll see it's on here, but it's kind of dry. It doesn't really look that exciting. So if we go to these three dots up here in the top and we go to this properties tab, we'll want to make sure that we have the done on there and maybe also our category. Now, when we go back to our calendar, we have edit Notion video. And when we're done with that, we can just hit done. And the nice thing about using a weekly view, you get to look at your old tasks that you did. So I really like a week view because I might be like, oh my gosh, I got so much done this week. And they don't go away. So it also allows you to like really easily move them to different days. So for instance, I might have like 5 tasks on a day. If I decide like, oh, I wake up and it's Wednesday and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing like half of these today because I can have a lot of flexibility in my schedule and maybe I want to get them done later, I literally will just rearrange my day. I will just be like, oh, yep, okay, we're going to do this instead. And I'll just take these and put them over here and maybe this one over. That's a really nice way to use the weekly view because you can just move it around and it's going to be the same that's in your list. So they're always going to be here in your list too. But on the weekly calendar, I don't know, it's just like a really nice way to do your week. So this is what I always include in my templates, but I do always have a list view as well because sometimes it's just nice to have both. It's good to see how your brain operates and give yourself what it needs. But I really do love how satisfying it is to like plan my days out and like move stuff around and then be like done and get to see like all my hard work that I did for the whole week. That's another way we do our task manager. Same information, same database. See, you can see the database title here, demo task manager, demo task manager, demo task manager. So all the same information, just going to show it to you in a bunch of different ways. And then yes, we have our demo information hub. So the last thing I'm going to do is make a habit track. We went ahead and on a new line, we pressed /, typed in calendar, goes to calendar view. We did a new database. We typed in habit tracker. We renamed by right clicking the calendar view habit tracker, and then we click the little icon right next to it and we change that to a little check mark. Now we've opened up a page and we've added a new property. I'll do it again here. It is a checkbox, and this one will be habit 2. You can do however many of these you want. If it's easier for you, you can right click and duplicate an existing one and then rename it. Sometimes if you're making a bunch of something, that can be a little bit easier than creating them from scratch. And I like to do maybe 5 habits. The other thing that we're going to do is you don't really need a title for these since it's just like a daily log. Unfortunate thing is this doesn't show us our habit. All it says is daily log. That's not very helpful. So we want to go up to the 3 dots. And we want to go to properties and see how it says 0 shown. We want to go ahead and make it so that all of these, besides the date, because we can see the date right here, are shown. We have this view and we have all these habits on here that we can just click off if we want right from this view. In order to make this is technically done. You can go here and hit new day and type in daily log and there's your day. Because that's not fun. We don't want to have to do that. That's work for us. We want to automate this. So what we are going to do is go up here to this new blue little arrow guy, click the down arrow and go new template. We are going to type in whatever you want your title to be. Now personally, because I don't like to have text on mine, I googled like kawaii symbols and I have like little sparkles in the title of my habit tracker. You can put whatever you want there. It can be anything, but just know it's going to be the same thing every day. It's very important for the date property on this template to be today. Make sure you choose the date on when you're editing the template and make it say today. Now, that's all you need to edit for the template. You can go ahead and just click off of it. Notion is weird. You don't have to hit save, but you can see now that we have a template that's daily log. I'm going to click these 3 dots and make it the default. It doesn't really matter. There's only one view for this anyways, but if you did have multiple views, you'd probably want to choose default for all of them. Now that we have this, basically, if we hit the new button, it's already going to have our title and it's going to set the date as today. So that's one small, easy way to automate that. If we just hit the new, oh, look, it has the right date and it has the name on it. Instead of earlier before we were, well, okay, it has a template now, but before we had to type in the name. Anyway, so one more piece of automation that is very cool is we're going to go up to this blue dot again. We're going to go to our daily log and we're going to go to repeat. Now, we want this to repeat every day. We want it to start every one day, whatever time, and hit save. Tomorrow, it's automatically going to make one of these daily logs for me without me doing anything. Automatically just going to go, boop, there it is. You technically don't have to do anything. And if you want to put this habit tracker on any page in your database, you can. But what I recommend doing is actually making a new page. If we go down to the bottom and we type /page, it's going to make a new page for us. And I'm going to change the name of this page to habit track. I'm going to go back to my dashboard by just clicking the title up here in the navigation. Go to the bottom here. We have our habit tracker. Let's change the icon maybe to like a sunshine, or that's cute. I like the flower. What I would do is take this habit tracker, and if you hold the 6 dots here, you can drag stuff around, and I would drag it and put it on this habit tracker page. And if we click in here, there it is. Again, we are going to make this a full width page, and bada boom, bada bing, there's our habit tracker. And now you might be like, well, what if I forget about it? What if I forget that that habit tracker even exists? This is my problem. I'm constantly forgetting that my habit tracker exists because it's on a whole separate page. I don't often click into separate page. So I'm going to show you the most magical way to view your habit tracker as a little, like, think of it like a widget for your home screen. First thing that I'm going to do here is make a new line, type slash and type column. And I'm going to put 2 columns here. Now, when you do that, you're not going to see them. You're going to be like, where are my columns? I don't see anything. They are there. Trust me. Because if I go to drag habit tracker, you now see that this blue line, instead of being solid, is cut in half. So you know that you have 2 sides here. So what I'm going to do is put the habit tracker on one side and drag my whole task manager to the other side. And that doesn't look that great. That looks like less than ideal, right? So what we're going to do is find this line in the middle and drag this all the way over. This way, you can give yourself a sort of little navigation. And if we actually type slash and do heading, and do maybe a heading 2, we can write navigation. And if we just drag this right above, now we can put other pages there, and we have a little page database to find our pages. So, but the other cool thing is, now onto the habit tracker part, what we are going to do is type slash gallery and do a gallery view. This time, instead of creating a new database, we are going to choose our habit tracker database. We're not going to copy an existing view. We're just going to do our habit tracker. New empty view, sorry. Boop. Okay. This new view is going to be a gallery view, and you want to name it like, I named mine like daily check-in. And I'll change the icon to a little calendar. You can also name it habit tracker. You can also name it habit tracker, however you want to do it. Usually for card preview, I'm going to do page cover for this, and you'll see why that's important in a minute. And I'm going to hit done. This is going to show us all the days. That's way too many days. So what I'm going to do real fast, it's really tiny, so I'm going to drag it over here just for a second. I am going to come over here and go to filters and add a date filter. Date is today. Now, it will only ever show you your daily log for today. But that, how it is now, doesn't really seem like it's going to help us. First of all, I'm also going to add a cover because it's going to make it very cute. We're gonna upload some. We'll do this guy, but still, this doesn't really help us. It's not that helpful to like click into here and edit your habits, right? So what we want to do is go ahead and go up to these 3 dots and go to properties, and we want to make sure, I don't even think you need the title. I say screw the title, but you want to make sure that your habits are there, and if they're out of order, you can totally drag these around, be whatever order that you need. Now you can shrink this back again. I would recommend, depending on how small you want this card size, let's do small. There we go. We have a little tiny mini habit tracker on our homepage that will just boop every day. There it is. And if you ever want to go look at the bigger one, you can. It's right here. If I mark off those habits today, they're going to be marked off there, over there. I think that's a fantastic way to do your habit tracker, because then it's just your single little day. You see it right there on your homepage. It's really, that is your habit tracker. The last thing that we'll want to do is create a mobile page to access some of these things on the go. Okay, so I'm going to do I'm going to make a mobile page. So I'm going to click on an empty line. I click below the habit tracker. You can also click this plus sign, and I'm going to do slash, and I'm going to type page. We're going to do a new page. It is going to be called mobile access page. And what are we going to do? First things first, always mark it as full width. And you know I love to change my font to mono. I'm going to start with an empty page. What we are going to do first is make sure that everything in here that we want to see on the mobile page is tagged as mobile page. I don't put these images on the mobile page because, like, why do I don't need to see that on my mobile page. You can if you want to, but I don't really need to see that. And that's just for these little gallery database views, and you'll see why. We go to our mobile access page, add an icon. First thing I'm going to do is type slash, and I'm going to type gallery. I get that gallery view pop. From the gallery view, I am going to choose Information Hub because I'm going to be using that same database that we created. If you want to just copy the same view, that works. If we do a new empty view, though, we can go ahead and do gallery. We will want the card size preview to be page content, and card size medium is probably fine. I'm going to hide the database title too. Now we have this, but I'm going to filter it because I don't want to see the image. I don't want to see the image. So I'm going to go category, and I'm going to click mobile page. So now only anything that's in here that has the mobile page tag will be on this mobile page. I'm also going to rename this again and do mobile info hub. The other important thing that we probably want, you could definitely leave it at this. Depending on what you want to have on your mobile page, you could definitely just leave it like this. I personally love to have buttons though, to add a tab or an errand or anything I might want to add for my phone. So I'm going to show you how to do that with buttons. It's very easy. I'm going to do our little slash button. The new button is going to be named add a new tab, and let's make it go. When the button is clicked, we are going to first choose add page, and the database that we want to select is our task manager because we're adding a task, right? We want it to go in the task. You don't need to edit the title property because that's you're going to type that in. That's the name of the task, right? But if you want to add a new property, say a category, you could say add a new work task and select the category of work. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and make it add a new work task. The next thing you want to do is add another step. This is very important or else you're just going to feel kind of lost. And you want to open page. And the page that you want to open is the new page that you just added. We click done. We have this add a new work task. If I click this, it's going to open up a task that already has the category for work, and I can type in the task name. Done. If I go back to my dashboard, you will see that the task has been right here. You can also set it so that it has a date if you want to. On our mobile access page, you can edit another property, date, if you want to make the date be today. Sometimes that's nice if you know that you need to do something today, and you can just go add a new work task, task 45. And that's not how you spell 40. You know that it will just be there sitting. That's one way. We'll also add another button. The same thing. I'm going to go add action, add pages to, select the database. Is going to be my task manager. I'm going to get rid of this, delete. And the one that I want to add is the category. And this is going to be Aaron. Then the next step, very important, open the page. And what page? The page you just created. And we'll do like a little, is there like a shopping? Bam. Now, you might also want to maybe have a mobile version of your habit tracker on here. You could also do the same thing that we did on the home page. That's definitely an option. But you can also just leave it at this. The other thing you can do if you do want to be able to see your tasks from your phone very easily, from your phone, you could go and do table view and do your task manager, and you can just copy your all tasks view here. That's something to think about. And what we do, you'll see that this is like a page that's on our home page, right? If I open my sidebar, this mobile page is going to be right here. Usually what I will do is I'll put it way up here. So if I drag that way up there, now when I open Notion on my phone, it's going to be like one of the first things there. But you can also, for this sake, I'm going to leave it where it was on the page so that it's easy to find. So if you were to download this, you can drag this to your sidebar, put it at the top, so it's easy to find when you're on your phone. And when you're on your phone, you just open this up. It has your target list, your grocery list, link saver, your brain dump, your task, and you can add a new task, add a new errand. You can also duplicate these if you want to create a new one really easily, and then you can just change the category. Like maybe we do health and it's like add a new. And that's a bit of an easier way to create a button. The only other thing I would touch on is maybe if you wanted to add some like design elements to this, one thing you could do is choose to hide the database title. It does make it look a bit cleaner, I think, but it's for like ease of use sake, I think it's helpful to have it there and you can just remove it when you need to. But yeah, that's a super basic dashboard. You can add anything else you want on here, but you really don't need to. Any other pages you download, you can plop them right here. And let's say that you did download my Calm Study Space. You can just drag and drop it under here and then, oh, there it is. Super easy to move things around to different templates. It's so cute. Oh, you can also add a cover. Highly recommend doing that. Makes it so pretty. My Gumroad is the best place to find like all of my templates broken up.